All right, everybody, if you are catching this video on the replay, please in the comments below type replay. I always like to see who's watching it on the replay versus who is here with me live. If you are here with me live, then type in the comments, where are you logging in from? What city, town, province, state? What's the weather like? And what is in your glass, or what will be in your glass? We're talking tonight about kind of end of summer wines, and more importantly, I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on keeping your wine cool. That's for both reds and whites, not to mention sparkling. Rosé, like the one I have here. But we're going to go over some of not the usual tips and tricks. So I'm going to log into Facebook, see if Mark Zuckerberg likes me tonight or not. Looks like we might be live. But again, if you are here watching me on the replay, type the word replay. Whoops, there we are. Cool, so to speak. I see some of you are already here. Hello, hello. Please let me know where you're logging in from. There's Elaine Bruce from Calgary. Hello, my dear. I'm warming up myself, speaking of chilling. All right, guys. So, what is in your glass tonight? What have you been enjoying lately? We always crowdsource these lists, right, of wines. I've got a variety of wines that go with end of summer cottage deck. Hello, Gian. And I'm going to tell you, here's a few things you might not know. A bucket of ice is actually not the fastest way to chill wine, nor is the fridge or even the freezer. It's a trick question. Do you know the fastest way to chill a bottle of wine? Whether it's a red that's been in the trunk too hot or whether it's a white, let me know what you think. Any guesses? What are your tips on chilling wine quickly? All right, Andrea's here. Hello, Andrea in Ottawa. Pedro is here from Brazil, one of my students, along with Lane and Gian. I'm so glad you can join us, Pedro. I forget the time zone change. What time is it for you in Brazil? Dorrit is here. Hello from Toronto, Dorrit. Another course member. And Paul and Patty Hollander are here from Virginia. Regular guests at our virtual table here. And Mary Ellen is here. You are having some sparkling rosé. Drink it. That's a question, Mary Ellen? Really? Drink it, yes. The answer would be yes, Mary Ellen. I have got, but this is, I don't know if you're asking me about mine, but the one I was holding up earlier, this is a rosé from southern France from Gérard Bertrand. They are on fire with their rosés. They also make the bottle with the sort of rose sculpted glass bottom. They make Hampton water in conjunction with Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. I am, wasn't with that crowd, the music guy. And they have some others too, which are really cool. All right, Christine is here. She's logging in from Mississauga and drinking Tectonia Chilean Pinot Noir. It's a rainy evening. You know, here in Ottawa, I've got the door open, so you might get some background noise. I love this weather right now as it sort of transitions from summer to fall, and you get that really, the heat dissipates in the evening and you get this cooling breeze. I just absolutely love that. Derek is here. Hello, and he's drinking Ravine Cabernet Rosé. Are you enjoying that, Derek, in Toronto? Paul, you're having a Muscadet Sèvres et Maine Surly from the Loire Valley. Delish. Beautiful wine for this time of year. What would you pair with it, Paul and Patty? And also to you, Derek, what would you pair with your wine? Your rosé. Mary Ellen, sorry. Noises answering, fastest way to chill it. Okay, I'm not sure if I get that. Noises answering, fastest way to chill it. LOL, drink it. Oh, you were answering the question. Fastest way to I don't know if that'd be the fastest way to chill it or warm it up inside you. Cam is here. Hello, and he's enjoying a Terapaca Carmenere with leftovers. Lovely. What are the leftovers, and do they go well with that Terapaca? Don Dawson is logging in from Oshawa, drinking the Councilman Merlot. Well. So glad to have you all here. And if you would take a moment just to share this, Doesn't matter if your friends and family can join us now. That's okay. You can tell them why this might be fun to catch us later on the replay. All right. Let me start with this one. As I said, Gerard Bertrand, Clos de Temple, from the Languedoc, so southern France, Corbière. And it's quite a lovely wine. I think they do just a terrific job with their rosés. Often they're making them from Grenache or Syrah, so fairly full-bodied red grapes that they're using to get, you know, all the flavor of a red without the heavy tannin and alcohol and other things that sometimes we don't want. That's lovely. Mouth-watering, juicy. Really great. Wow. I would pair this with itself and with like grilled veggies, grilled seafood. I'm trying to think of what's in season right now. Tomatoes. Just did a special segment on CTV Montreal, and we were talking all about wine and tomatoes. And I'll be sharing that with you, or did I already in the newsletter? But anyway, losing track here. It's Blur's Day. So Elaine, yes. Oh, Elaine Peters, the other Elaine from St. Catharines with Ralph. Just finished dinner steak with the 2012 Peller Cabernet Sauvignon. Was that good? Did you like that, Elaine? Karen Mitchells is here. Sheesh, I'm so technology challenged. Oh, that's okay. You can watch the first bit if you want on the replay, Karen. That's the beauty of this. Derek, I'm loving it. The Carmenere, or no, the Ravine Rosé has been my camping wine this summer by the fire. Today I'm pairing it with olives at home. I love camping wine. Last time we got together, someone said he brought a basil plant with him. I love how dedicated you guys are when he went camping. So he had fresh basil and wine. I just love that. You are my people, truly. Cam, smoked Wagyu sirloin and aged white cheddar. Cam, oh my gosh, that sounds so good. You know, and as I always say, pick 3 people who've made comments and respond to them over the course of our chat. That's what gets the conversation going and makes it multi-way. I love when y'all discuss amongst yourselves, right? So start off and pick a comment from somebody else, comment on their comment. And that's what gets it really rolling and having fun. So we lean into the virtual table, right? Okay. Mary Ellen, we're having fresh... I could never pronounce this, and then the person from the company told me, Frexnet. Some people say Freshnet, but I think it's Frexnet. Now I'm not sure. It's been too long since she corrected me. Hello, Martin. I'm so glad you're here. And Heather Proctor's here in Guelph. All right, we've got lots of our course members. And if you are curious about our course or the course that I offer, you can get a taste of it in the free online class that I offer. You'll see the URL right below me, nataliemaclean.com /class. You can pick a time and a day that work for you. And we do 5 wine and food pairings that can ruin your dinner forever. It's just tragic. But how to fix them forever. So there's a happy ending. Yay. And then at the end, I tell you about my more in-depth course. Speaking of which, my students who are here with me tonight, as you know, at the end of this session, we keep the party going in our private Facebook group, and we're going to do a more guided, structured tasting of South African wines. Never stuffy, always fun, but a little bit more wine education. And we may be tasting the same wines because I gave you that list in advance so that you could do that if you wanted. Hey, how are you, Gary? I'm so glad to see you. And Pedro, why are European rosés much lighter than the ones from the New World? You know, it might be a stylistic preference or a tradition of winemaking. You know, even though this is from the south of France, it's very light, not just the pale color, but I think it's a tradition of winemaking and taste preference, because you can do anything you want with rosé. You can keep, you know, longer skin contact and make it a deeper hue and give it even more flavor, because the flavor precursors of wine, sort of what's locked up, and that potential for flavor is locked up in the skins. And the longer you leave it in contact with the flesh or juice of the grapes while they're sitting together, macerating, the more you're going to get, you're going to extract those flavor compounds and the color. But it's all a balance, right? You can go overboard and have a rosé that is just not refreshing or zesty or vibrant. But also, Pedro, what what plays into it quite a bit, this is a great question, is in the New World, a lot of those regions are warm. So think Chile, Argentina, Australia, California. They are, for the most part, have many pockets of warm climates. And the warmer the climate is, the more the grapes ripen. The more they ripen, the more sugar, the more alcohol. So that's also going to add weight and alcohol to New World rosés that are coming from warmer climates. Hope that answers your question. Great question. All right. Elaine. Oh, thank you, Elaine. Yeah, okay, I want to share some happy news. Have to share it because some of you, I hope many of you, are podcast listeners. So thanks for bringing this up, Elaine. So I have a podcast, a weekly podcast called The Unreserved Wine Talk, and I interview people around the world, sommeliers, writers, interesting winemakers, no boring winemakers. And through their stories, you can learn about wine. And so I've been doing this for about a year now. And today, the New York Times picked its 7 favorite drinks podcasts, and Unreserved Wine Talk was one of them. So it's a great list. You might want to check it out, especially if you are a podcast listener, and because, you know, we all listen to more than one podcast. So 3 of them were cocktail podcasts. 1 was beer, I believe, and 3 were wine. And the other 2 wine podcasts are terrific. You should check them out. So anyway, celebrating, yes, going to have another sip of this celebratory sip. So thank you all who listen to the Unreserved podcast, because, you know, I wouldn't have it without you. I just I have no motivation. And I love your comments and when you give me suggestions. And speaking of suggestions, we're coming up close to the 100th episode. And so my goodness, I've been doing this more than a year. Anyway, but I'd love your suggestions on how to celebrate the 100th episode. Suggestions that would make it fun for you. Let me know in the comments if you've got suggestions. So anyway, cheers. All right. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to do a couple more zesty white wines, and then we'll talk more about temperature, because I promised that. I've got the Sperling Pinot Gris. Anybody tried Anne Sperling's wines from BC? She's a rock star. I've said it many times. So I'm interested in trying this one. And I will, as always, post links to all of the wines that I tasted tonight. Somewhere along this week, we'll post them in the comments section so that you can click and find out if you can order it. Often you can order it directly from the winery, or if they're in liquor stores close to you. All right? White melon, fresh white peach, lovely. Wow. So, you know, I think of sometimes Pinot Gris, Pinot Grigio, and so on as kind of can be like beige paper, wallpaper or beige paint, kind of like, that's okay. But this has really got a lot of character. Very fresh. Nice juicy acidity running up and down the sides of my mouth. This would be great with seafood. Field greens, all the things. Anastasia. Hello, Anastasia. I'm so glad you're here. And you are hearing this. Yes. Okay, great. You're joining. I'm glad you can hear. Oh, yes. Thanks. Thank you so much, Anastasia. Cool. Gian, thank you. Elaine, sometimes you put a red into the fridge sometimes you put a red into the white fridge and have to wait for it to warm up. Okay, cool. So let's talk temperatures. So I teased you at the beginning of this session why a bucket of ice is not the fastest way to chill. a bottle of wine. I don't know if anybody's come up with any guesses as to what would be faster. It's kind of a trick question. Not the fridge. And I'll talk about freezers in a minute. But it's a bucket of ice water. And even better if you add salt. So why is that? So a bucket of ice with just unmelted ice cubes has pockets of warm air, whereas a bucket of ice water completely covers your wine at the same temperature, the icy cold water, and the ice keeps bringing down the temperature as it melts. But if you add salt, salt will even lower the temperature of water, probably of wine too, but don't put salt in your wine. So salt will lower the temperature of water, so it will keep it even chillier, bring the temperature even down quicker. And so it's ice water, a bucket of ice water is a great way to go. Now I do have a wet t-shirt trick, not what you think, don't go there, in the freezer, but I will share that with you in another moment because I'm going to keep you hanging on the edge of your seat going, what the is she talking about? All right, if you're just logging in, if you're just joining us now, please just say in the comments, hello, logging in from Jonestown or wherever. Where are you logging in from? And if you're watching this on the replay, please type in the comments replay. I love to go back and see who catches this on the replay. All right, so let me try another zesty white. And this is from Creekside in Niagara, Sauvignon Blanc. It's their reserve. They kind of pride themselves on Sauvignon Blanc and Syrah there. Great winery. Let's give this a swirl. Wow, is that ever nice? That's like white melon and like white pepper too. Bizarrely great. Wonderfully weird. Oh, that's so good. Got great texture too. It's not your typical grassy Sauvignon Blanc. And it's got nice texture. It's got a nice body. And that wonderfully weird white melon, white pepper. Anyway, has anyone tried Creekside wines? Okay, let's go back to see your comments. Okay, cool. Yes, again. Yes. 100th episode. Yeah, thank you. All right. Now, Deb. You're right. They are amazing, fresh and bright. Yes. Martin. Hello, Martin. Of the 100th episode, let's do Baby Duck to champagne and all in between. Whoa. A sparkly wine celebration. Well, that's quite the range, Martin. I might, you can start with Baby Duck. I'll meet you halfway and we'll go all the way to champagne together. You, me, and Mary Ellen. Cool. All right, let me just see. I don't have my glasses on, as I say. I'm blind as a bat and vain as a peacock. So here I am squinting at the screen as usual. Andrea loves Sperling. Yes, the Pinot Gris skin contact. Yum. Oh yeah, and what you can do too is tag other people. That's a new thing that I just heard about, but it's not new. If you tag somebody in the comments, like if you know their @ symbol and their Facebook address, and you just say, hey, think you might enjoy this, that's another way of bringing people to this conversation, even if it's after the fact. There's always the recording. Rosemary, hello, logging in from Saskatoon. Bought the course and been too busy, but that's okay, but really looking forward to it. You know, the beauty of the course, thanks for bringing it up, Rosemary, is that you have lifetime access to it. So all of the videos, workbooks, course materials are there for you, and I posted the link, or it's right below me, if you want to try a free class to get a taste for what we do. But we go into much more depth, obviously. OBS, and another link I want to share with you, 2 more. So I have a calendar for these tastings, and you can add it to your own virtual calendar, like whether you use Google Calendar, Outlook, whatever. So I have a calendar for these tastings, and then an additional calendar for course students, because we always do another topic, and as I say, we carry the party on after this one finishes. So there the links are. I've just posted them. all you have to do is click on it, and then you'll come to a page and you can click to say follow the calendar, and you can unfollow at any time, but it'll tell you all the dates of these tastings and more importantly which wines we're tasting, so it can be very helpful as a reminder because it's more fun live, I think, although not everybody can join us at this time. Okay, coolio. You love Creed. Janine, hello. Rosemary O'Connor, hello. Or sorry, Bonnie O'Connor, hello, Bonnie. Nice to see you. Helen's doing great. Her daughter just got a promotion, and she is doing so well. You must be so proud of her, Bonnie. Let's see. Put the bucket, Hold the rack and spin it gently. It helps the heat transfer from the wine to the water. Hey, that's cool. Didn't know that, Christine. Okay, so we put it in a bucket of ice water. We're going to add some salt to bring the temperature down, and then we're going to spin it. Spin the bucket gently so that the heat transfers from the wine to the water. We are getting so sophisticated. I dropped chemistry in grade 11. Derek, Creekside. Cool. All right. I see you're doing the discussion thing. All right, so I'm taking one more sip of this. This is just lovely, this Creekside Sauvignon Blanc. I'll show you the bottle one more time. I've got some more wines that I should really get through here. So nice. And I'm going to move right along to Cut Chardonnay. As you know, I've tasted these wines on Facebook before, and I always think of them as a cut above. They really stand out. Great wines. This is a Chardonnay. Now, usually I wouldn't say Chardonnay for summer, like it tends to be more full-bodied, but I think if you had lobster with melting butter or crab cakes or crab legs, something really buttery and rich, this would be great. What a beautiful nose. Toasted almond, golden apple. Oh my Lord, that's nice. Beautiful mouth texture. It's mouth-filling and full-bodied, but not heavy. Definitely not heavy on the oak. I love that. Okay, the wet t-shirt trick. You've been patient. I reward patience. Okay, so it could be a wet towel too, but wet t-shirt just sounds more scandalous. So if you're especially if you're at the cottage or anywhere, actually, you don't have to be at the cottage, but you have a room temperature white and you've got to bring it down and chill it quickly. If you wet a t-shirt or a towel in cold water, wrap it around your bottle, put it in the freezer, it's going to come down in temperature twice as fast as if you just put it in the freezer, the bottle. Do not forget your bottle in the freezer because liquid expands as it chills, right? So you can crack your bottle and break your heart if you forget it. So don't do that. Now, if the t-shirt or the towel is kind of stuck to the bottle, it's kind of frozen onto the bottle a bit, you can just run it over under lukewarm water. It will not change the temperature significantly, and you can get the t-shirt, the towel off. Sounds like a lot of work, but anyway, I still love the whole ice bucket thing and the spinning and the salt and everything else. I think that's the thing I'm going to go with. So cool. All right. Those are the whites that I have. Now let's get on to some reds. They are way across here. Now, one of the great reds, I think, for summer is anything Gamay based. So either Beaujolais Village or, of course, Gamay itself. We do Gamay so well in Ontario and elsewhere, the Loire, Beaujolais. There's pockets of it elsewhere. Some little pockets in BC. Let's try this Beaujolais Village from Moulin. No, where is it from? Oh, non-filtered. It's from non-filtered. No. Anyway, don't confuse Beaujolais with Beaujolais Nouveau. Beaujolais Nouveau is a cash grab, very smart cash grab. Every third Thursday of November, right after the harvest, they bottle that sucker and get it out. There's the midnight release, etc. It pretty much tastes often like banana bubblegum. That's putting it charitably. But Beaujolais that's not done this way and released usually in April, is a whole different animal. So this is a 2017 vintage that's still on sale now. Let's get that. As Gary V would say, a sniffy sniff. Oh, that's very pleasant. Smooth, medium bodied, cherry berry, satin, grilled chicken, grilled pork chops. It's a lovely summer red because you can bring it down in temperature. We often serve reds too warm, whether it's summer or winter, but especially in the summer, you don't want a red that's at room temperature, especially if you don't have air conditioning. It's just going to taste of alcohol, and it's not going to be refreshing. It's not going to have any lift. So I would do the ice bucket trick with red. That's kind of, if it's warm to touch, if the bottle is warm to touch, it's too warm to drink. So put it in ice for even like ice water for 10 minutes, and you'll find that it's so much more refreshing. Now here's the tip for white wines. Are they too cold? If the bottle or the glass is misting over, too cold. Sweating bottles are great in beer commercials, not so great for your wine because it numbs it. You won't smell anything. That's perfect if you're drinking a really cruddy wine at a wedding. But otherwise, or an art gallery opening, otherwise you want to be able to smell and taste your wine. So if it's misting over with condensation, leave it alone for 10 minutes if you can, and then try again. Okay. Cool. Look at all this. All your comments. This is great. Elaine, I hit the jackpot with 3 I opened just now. Cool. Oh, you're enjoying your wines. That's great. So that's the Beaujolais. We are just speeding along here. Let's try Neusa. Neusa. A Greek wine that I've always loved. Has lots of acidity. Not too heavy. I love good acidic reds in the summer because they're refreshing. They're fruit friendly. They're food friendly too. Dark peppered raspberries. Oh, I love that. Dark pepper on the nose, in the finish, and a berry, black brooding berry all the way. That'd be great with any grilled meats. And not heavy. No discernible tannins, that furry mouth feeling. Really delish. Are we connected on Instagram, she asked. So I'm thinking about going live there at different times, not to replace this, but follow me on Instagram. Click on that little blue button, if you will. Follow me there, and then you'll stay in touch with what's going on. All right? So I'm thinking about going live there or doing interviews there or something like that. But you need to be connected, right? And what was the other link I wanted to... Oh, if you're looking for the podcast itself, the one that I talked about earlier, Unreserved Wine Talk, let me post the link to that. So you can listen to it on the website, but it's also on Apple Podcasts, any podcast catcher app you have, Pandora, Spotify, SiriusXM, Stitcher, SoundCloud, etc. All right. This Neusa is very nice. Elaine, refrigeration suppresses aromas. Yep. Swirl your whites in the glass to introduce warmer air and release the bouquet. I like that. Cool. Yep, and I think if you've got a white that's been in the fridge and is fridge temperature, which is about average 4 degrees Celsius, and you want to bring it up to maybe 7 to 9, even 10 degrees Celsius for a white and a rosé, maybe a little cooler for your sparkling, take it out for at least 10 to 15 minutes from the fridge before you... But also, if you pour it into your glass, it's going to warm up quicker because it's got more exposure to warmer air. So unless it's a sparkling, you don't want the bubbles to die. But if you've got a whiter rosé and you want to bring it up temperature-wise quicker, pour it out into your glass. Now, I've heard some sommeliers in some restaurants will put the wine in the microwave if the patrons complain that it's too cold. I don't know. I don't think I'd want them to do that to my wine. Have you ever heard of that? So nice. I've got 2 more reds I want to show you. Let's see, what will we do? Okay, we'll do Le Grand Moulin, which is a Bordeaux. So normally I wouldn't recommend a Bordeaux or a Cabernet that has tannins in the backyard, but this is lovely, and I think it would be great with grilled meats, grilled steak, grilled burgers. Although when you get into burgers, you often have fixings that are kind of sweet, like relish and ketchup and onions and all the rest of it. So you have to keep that in mind. And that's why I think sometimes Zinfandel and Primitivo are better suited to hamburgers because of what we put on them. Cool. You guys are on fire. Cool, cool, cool. Derek, they wouldn't pass your camping? Pass my camping rule. Must have a twist-off cap. That's a great rule. And even wines in cans nowadays are great. Like, the quality is really improving. Hello. That's good. Le Grand Moulin. I would give it more cellar time. And I would decant this 1 to 2 hours. But that's a nice wine. How much is that sucker? Don't think they say. $17. That's pretty good. Cool. Like that. I like when I'm happy and inexpensive. Okay. The last one I wanted to show you is from Sperling, and it's their Old Vines Fauche Reserve. So Maréchal Fauche is a hybrid grape as opposed to Vitis vinifera like Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, and so on. So it's a cross, but it can produce, Baco Noir is another one that is a hybrid, but it can produce wines of great deliciousness, depth, and especially with a master winemaking hand like Anne Sperling. That's a beautiful nose, beautiful. Bursting with berry cherry goodness. That's very nice. Interesting. Interesting finish. Shorter than I'd like, but the upfront fruit is really nice. Really great. My goodness, look at you guys. All right, so what else can I tell you about? So those are chilling tricks. So on average, your fridge is about 4 degrees Celsius. You're all going to have to convert if you're using Fahrenheit, because I can't do all that math in my head. 7 to 9 degrees-ish for white wines. Maybe 10. More like the lower end of that range for sparkling. I tend to have whites and rosés at the same temperature. Light reds like Gamay, Beaujolais are nice around 12 degrees. And then as you get into more full-bodied complex reds, 13 to 15 degrees Celsius. All right. The Fauche is from BC. Yes, Elaine? We'll put links to that. But this is from Sperling Vineyards in BC. So I know they ship across the country. So you can order it directly. Cool. All right, guys. My goodness, that flew by. So I want to get ready for my course students. If you're curious about what this is and what we keep yabbering on about, please sign up and take the free class, nataliemaclean.com/class, because you can pick a time and a day that work for you. Love to have you a part of that community too. We have so much fun here. We have just as much, if not maybe a little bit more fun over there. Anyway, it's a different kind of discussion, but it's still very much friendly and communal. All right, so look to your calendars. I will see you again in 2 weeks' time. Course students, get yourselves over there, open your wines, and I will see you again real soon. Take care. Thank you so much for being here tonight. As I say, this is the highlight of my week. All right, bye for